think you're going to do?
Well, I think the first issue that has to be dealt with, the $64 question, is the issue of tax reform. I can sit here enumerating the many problems that face the people of the state of Vermont, and the legislature will say, yep, that's right. But then they'll conclude by saying, you're right, but there's nothing that we can do because we have no money to address those problems. So before we can begin to talk about the housing crisis, or the crisis in daycare, or the crisis in housing, or any of the other serious problems that we face, somebody is going to have to come forward and propose legislation based around progressive taxation. And by progressive taxation, what I mean is a tax program which asks those individuals and institutions who can best afford to pay taxes to start paying their fair share, rather than placing the tax burden on working people, elderly people, or poor people, which is what we do in this country and in this state to a large degree. And unless the legislature is prepared to deal with that, what you're going to see is either higher taxes for people who can't afford to pay it, or no funding for desperately needed programs. Do you understand what I mean? And unless they deal with that, a lot of what goes on in the legislature is really academic, because they're not going to have the resources to address the real problems. So I think the first issue is tax reform. And by that, what I mean is an understanding that since President Reagan has been in the White House, and because of the fact that Vermont's tax system is coupled to the federal system, the wealthiest people and the corporations in the state of Vermont have been paying significantly less in taxes, while property taxes for working people and elderly people have been soaring. That is the basic dilemma in Vermont. Property taxes have been going up, and yet income taxes for the wealthiest people in the state and for corporations has been going down. That's the basic tax reality. That has got to be dealt with by the legislature. If they choose not to deal with it, I see nothing significant coming out of this legislative session.